What's up, Cub? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Good. I really love that car, man. You got the you can see the outside through all the windows, all 8 windows or whatever you got.
Yeah, it's a Tesla.
Ah. Can it drive itself?
I don't have the full driving, but if I hit this right now, all right, now I can just stay in this lane.
No, no. I see your lovely. I see your lovely kid in the back. Put the hands on the steering wheel, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still am not sure about that. I'd rather just ride with myself and my skills and me protect my people than to let
Yeah.
some satellite and the steering wheel do it. That's my thought. I don't know what your thoughts are.
It's scary at first, but you only do it in like small, like a small window of time. But it's the first time I did it with my kid in the car, so.
Oh man, I hope people don't give us a hard time. Okay, where you headed right now?
I'm headed to practice. Just
Oh, nice.
conditioning right now, and then I get to bring Royal because I go to the UFC gym, Costa Mesa, the gym I own, and there's a kids club, so I get to bring her. Sometimes I bring all three kids if I want to make that person's life miserable.
Why'd you only bring one?
Because if me and Kenda both come and we work out together, which we've been doing this last month, we'll bring all three. But we both got up late and had a late start, so I was like, I knew she wasn't gonna come, and so I try to just bring Royal to help with some of the problems.
Nice. All right. Well, this was Goze's booking. He obviously spotted you on social media, kind of throwing it out to the fans. Hey, who's ready for Killer Cub to come back? When do you know that it's time? When do you know that it's time? Is it just do you have to get a few training sessions in, or is it just more of a mental thing where you're like, nah, man, I'm ready to work?
I've been doing this a long time, so I kind of know more or less when I want to fight, and then I know if my body's gonna be ready for that. If I have injuries, it's like, okay, now I got my kids' birthdays, holidays, my birthday. It's like, okay, what time frame do I want? And then it's like, okay, I want to fight in 4 months. Okay, well, I need to start training now. Give myself a month to get in shape, see how I'm feeling, and go, okay, can I fight in 3 months from now? And then I send Sean Shelby a message saying, hey, I'm looking at this time frame. I'm already in the gym. So, because you never know if they're gonna say, okay, well, we want you to fight in 2 months. You better be ready, So I gave myself a lot of time and planned it out. So that I try to be, I try to always make it so I'm in good shape when I get into the fight.
What's your window that you're looking at? Is there a certain month or even a date, exact date or and card?
No, I just told him around October, and I know it could be a little sooner, it could be later. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them. And so I'm just trying to get in shape and just make sure that got the wheels turning, and then I got a running start when I start camp.
Well, here's the Russian roulette you're playing with. If you really love fighting close to home, obviously these fight nights, they're all in Vegas. There's also a big Vegas show on September 25th, which is in October, but it's very close to. But if you want to get away from it all and go halfway across the world, they're going to start building a card in Abu Dhabi. Are you open to that, or are you open for more of a local show?
I like fighting closer to home. I mean, I'm not opposed to traveling. I've done it multiple times, but it's so much easier, like mentally packing for a fight. To when you have to fly, you only got so many bags, and you have to play the game of, do I take this or don't take this? It's like recovery equipment or extra gear. You have to like pack for because nobody wants to have too many bags. Like when me and Juan Archuleta went to his last fight,
Mm-hmm.
he brought we brought 12 bags between the two of us because he has like so much equipment that he wants to bring, which is wild. It was expensive.
What do you guys, the
But for like,
Kardashians or what? 12 bags.
well, he had like, I don't know, like $40,000-$50,000 in recovery equipment that he brought out because he likes to do everything. And so yeah, for me, last time when I fought in Vegas, I rented a little Ford Transit and packed my Airdyne bike in there, all my recovery equipment, and I drove that out. So that way I had everything I had at home, I had at the hotel.
Wow. So when it becomes time to send that email and say, hey, Cub Swanson's ready to go, does that email say Cub Swanson's ready to go and this is who I would like, or Cub Swanson's ready to go, what you got for me?
Well, now it's been a little different because we haven't talked about it a whole lot, but I've been managing some fighters, obviously because my manager, his passing, I took over a lot of guys with a partner of mine, Monty. So now the emails are like, hey Sean, I'm ready for this date. My other fighter, Rafa Garcia, he's looking good. He'll be ready. My other guy, Dan Argueta, who's on the Ultimate Fighter show, all that out. So now I'm talking to him on different fronts as a fighter and a manager. So it's been interesting, and it's been a good learning experience.
I know that that's also sort of been a passion for you, and not just as of late, kind of your whole life. I've always noticed you try and help other fighters, and because you took a lot of chances in your training early on, going to different places, and you were one of the first guys to actually train with high-level boxers. And I remember you would share those experiences. Can you maybe talk a little bit about some of these guys, like Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, Tyrone Woodley? And granted, the Paul brothers aren't on the level of some of the guys that you actually had to train against and train with. But what is it like that first year of training with boxers, and how long did it take you to feel comfortable with those type of guys?
It took me a while to really get comfortable. In the beginning, you're just kind of surviving because you're playing their rules. I think a lot of these guys that went to boxing gyms kind of went for little stints. Like I was there. It was like my main training, and I was there every day. So I'd spar a couple days a week, and then the other days I'm hitting the bag doing their whole routine. Okay, you show up, you shadow box 4 rounds, you get your gloves on, you start hitting this bag for 2 rounds to work uppercuts, then you work this bag to work this, and it's like a whole long thing, and then you end up, I may hit some mids, I'll jump rope, it's like an hour and a half of just doing hands, so it's a whole different dynamic, but getting in there and being able to perform against other boxers is definitely a curve. It's a whole different animal. The first thing is distance. I think that's the biggest thing that people don't realize is the distance is so different in boxing versus MMA. You're a lot closer in boxing, so you can use your jab. So in MMA, the first thing they're saying is establish your jab. Well, you kind of have to double or triple jab to get to close the gap. So just a single jab doesn't always work because in the beginning you're so worried about takedowns and kicks that you fight from a further distance. So it changes your stance, it changes your game plan. It's so different. But the skills that you learn are pretty valuable if you can translate them.
Do you think before your career is over, at some point you might give this a try, going in there and doing something like that? Because you kind of have that mindset, you have that experience of training with them, that I think it would be a lot of fun to see you go in there and do a little boxing.
I mean, I tried for years. I brought it up to Sean many, many times years ago. Even when I was in WC, I asked if I could do boxing at the same time because my coaches were pretty impressed with how I was doing. And they said absolutely not. they told me that if I wasn't focused 100% on MMA, then then I should, they would let me go and let me. They said that they wanted all their fighters to be focused 100% on trying to win the belt. So I thought about switching to boxing for a while, and I just thought to myself, well, what's going to happen is I'm going to spend 3-4 years at least trying to make it to the top, and then I'll be right there, possibly in the top 10, top 20, and then I'm going to be having to do that extra to make it to the very top. And I'm like, I'm already there right now in MMA, so it just didn't make sense, and so I wasn't able to do it. So I was a little annoyed when the UFC allowed Conor to do it, but that was a lot of money to be made, and I see why they would go that route. But I definitely was trying to do it a long time ago.
Boy, how the times have changed. I remember when you lived in Palm Springs, and I said, man, you should come to Orange County. You got the cool coastal air, the great weather. And I can tell you just did the 55 to the 405. I can tell by the buildings, and I can see the clear skies out there. And we're in the fucking desert now with scorpions and rattlesnakes and cactuses. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have cussed. I'm sorry because your daughter's there. Sorry about that. But yeah, knowing you so long, like things flipped. Now you're not near the beach.
I know, but it's my wife. She came out to the desert with me like a trooper, pregnant in the summer, and then when she got pregnant with twins the next summer, she was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this again." And I was like, yeah, "Fair enough." And I had already been driving out here, so we just decided to make the move. And now I'm a wuss. Now I'm like, I can't handle the heat anymore.
Hey, speaking of your wife, how about that tweet, man? Don't F with MMA wives. She was, I think that was obviously with the Jolie Poirier incident, Jolie Poirier and McGregor incident, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I never was a fan of that. That's why I never was a fan of Conor. I think he's a extremely talented guy, but I just don't like that. And a lot of people don't. It's like you could talk about knocking me out and kicking my ass, and even some of my teammates, like we're all in this sport, yeah, but my wife and kids aren't. And I don't think you should talk about someone's religion or their family. Those are kind of off limits. And
Yeah.
I think when people are crossing the line, something bad happens to them, it's like, I don't feel sorry for you. You kind of brought that on yourself.
I thought that was pretty cool that she and others collectively had Jolie Poirier's back.
Yeah. I thought so as well. And Kenda's been, for a while, she's been having the idea of wanting to start like an MMA wives like chat, like all of them get together and be able to talk, because all the attention's always on us, the athletes, and our significant others are there, and they have the ups and downs and the emotional roller coaster too, and they don't always get to talk about it with somebody that understands. So she's always been wanting to do that, kind of get the MMA wives together and kind of like be there for each other. So I think that was just her way of supporting.
I know we got to wrap up with you soon, but as long as I see you driving, I'll just fire off a couple quick questions. Any thoughts on 35? We've discussed this before. You said you've been open to it, or are you still locked on 45?
I'm open to it. I talked to the UFC and I told them that I was open to it, but I was really trying to diet and that wasn't going so well. I just know that I would need a good amount of time. But I remember when me and Aldo fought way back, we almost had the exact same body frame. And once I saw him make it, it was like, okay. But yeah, I know what it feels like when I'm at 145 pounds, and just to think another 10 pounds on top of that, it seems, scary, but I know I could do it. It just, we'll see. I think I'll still be at 45 for at least one more fight. we'll see what happens. I know it's difficult for the UFC because I've fought so many people in the division, so it gets a little hard to match make. But there's still tons of good talent, so we'll see.
Lastly, you goes asked you that question about the email that you send. Do you send away? Do you focus on some names, and then that's when you kind of introduce that you're managing fighters? Let me just try one more time. But was there a name that you did offer up, or have they even already responded to you and say, well, this is what is available? Just because it gets us excited, like, oh man, that'd be dope, if you fought so and so.
Yeah, I don't like to call people out. It's never kind of worked out for me either. I tell the UFC, I'm ready, and then they give me names, and then sometimes they give me multiple names. I'll say I'll take both of them because I know one of them will take it and one won't.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't really care. It doesn't matter who it is. My first thought is always like, oh. And then I have to like mentally go through the process and go, okay, this is how I'll fight this person, So it really doesn't matter who it is. I just need the name, and then I can start planning for it.
Well, you've had an incredible
for almost 20 years, so it's kind of hard to break.
And we can't argue with it, man, because you've had an incredible career. You've given us some great fights. Whatever the next one will be, we'd love to cover it. Thanks so much for the time, and go have a good training session. And thanks for spending some time with us here on Junkie Radio, Cub. Love you as always, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. I just want to say I got my fighter, Rafa Garcia, fighting next weekend. He's going to be a huge Mexican star. He's with me and Bloodline Management. That's our management company. And, Rafa Garcia is a huge star, and you guys will be knowing about him real soon. And he's over there training with Justin Gaethje. That's why I was over there in Colorado. I was checking in on him, and we got some good guys. So, and as soon as I get a fight, I'll let you guys know.
Sweet. All right. Thanks as always for the time. Take care.
All right, guys. See you.